Hey, lovelies. Welcome back to JayeRated. We are on episode 2 of Love Island Games Season 2, and whew, yeah, the drama started early. The couples are starting to get settled in, but the games are already testing their connection. I hope you got your snacks and your glasses are full. Let's get into it. Now, let's start with Charlie and Andrea. Their first conversation was kind of cute. It seemed like they may have a little bit in common. And I might be here for it. I will tell you though, Josh is not having it. He might not be letting her go that quickly because he pulled the signature Love Island, bring your girl a coffee in the morning, just to make sure that she knew he was still interested. But Charlie unfazed, honey. Andrea and Josh were having a conversation the next day, and Charlie literally swooped in and pulled Andrea right up off of him mid conversation. Maybe a little awkward for them, but hilarious for me. Speaking of swooping, let's slide right on over to Merritt and Solin. Now, just looking at them together visually, they look good together, but their conversation left a little more to be desired. Merritt seems like a lover boy, like he's the romantic type. He even made Solin breakfast the next morning, but let Lucinda taste it first. Merritt, what kind of shit is that? And Solin was not letting him live, okay? She said, after he tried to give it to her, she said, "What? This is for a dog. Like, I don't want no leftovers, honey. You just fed another bitch, and now you want to try to give it to me? No." So Lynn is giving fiery, and she's not gonna take anybody's shit, and I'm here for it. And then there's Josh and Lucinda. Right now, they're just coupled up with each other because they were both at risk in the last episode. But Josh is really trying to coach her on her gameplay. He seems like he's going to be very competitive, but it's almost leaning towards snaky a little bit. He's definitely still salty about him losing the challenge to Tyreek in the last episode. He mentioned that a couple of times. So I'm looking forward to see, his journey in the show. And then we have Lucinda, who seems like she still may be into Merritt. Um, we got to see a little more of them talking in this episode, and I think my opinion of them might be changing a little bit. They do seem cute together. They seem to be attracted to each other, but it seems like there's a language barrier. Honestly, Merritt, he is so adorable in his like way of explaining things and how he's like trying to you know present himself to everyone. Now, Chris and KayKay. I think they may be my favorite couple of the season. It's too early to say, right? We're only in episode 2, but seems like they have good chemistry. They look good together. And you know what? Kudos to KayKay for putting herself out there and basically saying, "Look, I want to be kissed outside of a challenge." But let me just say, she shouldn't have to ask, okay? She is the prize. Chris's lips should be puckered, all right? At the very sound or utterance of her saying she wanted to be kissed. But it wasn't. So to me, that says that Chris is definitely still focused on the game, which also tells me that Nicola could be a potential person that he may be looking at. They did have a conversation in this episode in the bathroom where he was saying she caught his eye. She's one of the people that he was looking to potentially couple up with. And I was a little shocked by that, honestly. So, you know, there's more to see in that little situation. And then we have Tyreek, who, made it clear to KayKay that he is, interested in her. And honestly, I think she may be interested in him, but I think she's just wary because she thinks he may be a fuckboy. And honestly, he has every right to be concerned because he is a little bit, all right? Speaking of Tyreek, let's get to him and Andreina. Okay, so the two of them had a conversation in the speakeasy. They were getting on a little bit of a deeper level, which surprised me. I didn't think um, that their conversations would go past the surface, honestly, because I thought it was just like sexual chemistry between them. I mean, it's still a little too early to say, but I was I was pleasantly surprised by their conversation. Andrea even mentioned that she was a little concerned that Ty may switch up on her if she doesn't perform well in the challenges. And honey, that is a valid concern. Okay. And then they ended their chat with a spicy little kiss. Okay. So, to end the night, most of the islanders kind of kept to themselves in their beds, with the exception of Garby and Kendall, who were really cute, all cuddled up with each other. Speaking of, hardly got to see them in all this episode, which was a little disappointing because I really enjoyed Gabby in the last episode. She was a standout for me in the challenge. And then we had Tyreek and Andreina, who were smooching it up in the bedroom. Speaks more to the sexual tension that's between them. So, towards the end of their first day, we had a real feel of traditional Love Island. You know, you're warming up to the new couples, getting to know them, and then the next day, the first text comes through. And it's like they're brought back to life, back to reality. Let's talk about the real highlight of the episode, their first duel. So, in the text, they let the Islanders know that Josh and Lucinda would be able to pick whomever they wanted to duel with to get themselves out of risky territory. Lucinda ended up picking Andreina, and Josh ended up picking Charlie. Now, what I will say I enjoyed is none of the Islanders knew who was going to be chosen until moments before the duel started. So they were all kind of on their toes throughout the day, trying to see who was going to be picked. I'm sure making strategies for if they were going to be picked, what they would do. But the thing about it is, they had no idea what the duel would consist of. So they didn't even really have a chance to prepare, which also kept them on their toes. So Lucinda and Andreina were up first. And the first round, honestly, before it started, I thought Andreina would come out on top because I thought that weight would play a factor. Lucinda picked Andreina because she thought that she was going to be easier to beat. And turns out it was true. Honestly, I had speculation that Andreina was not going to be a huge competitor in this game. And I hate to say it, but I think I might be right. Lucinda whopped her ass. On the first round, she had her stuck to the floor like a damn stomped on cockroach, okay? And then in the second round, Andreina basically just gave up and gave Lucinda the win. It was kind of hard to watch. Hard to watch in a good kind of way, though. So, as a result of Andreina's loss, Lucinda coupled up with Tyreek, and Andreina was left at risk. Next, we had Josh and Charlie. So the boys bring a different level of intensity when it comes to the games. I mean, Josh was honestly talking cash money shit before the battle even started. I think he had Charlie a little shook in his boots a little bit. Like Charlie was talking back, kind of giving it back to him, but his face was saying that he was a little scared. I will say round one was tough. I mean, it was like tug of war. They were pulling each other back and forth. Neither was going to make it easy for either one of them to win, and I respect that. Round two was even more of a fight. And to say that Josh was talking all of that shit, he definitely backed it up with the win. I was cheering for Charlie as because I felt like he was the underdog in this situation. And honestly, I think I have more of a connection with him than Josh because I enjoyed Charlie's season more, if I'm being completely honest. But Charlie did not make it easy for Josh. I think he definitely proved himself even through his loss. And as a result um, of Josh winning the challenge, he was able to couple up with Andrea, leaving Charlie at risk. And honestly, I thought that was just gonna be the it. I thought they were gonna end the episode. I was actually starting to unclench my fingers after watching such an intense scene. And then we get a little teaser that we have two bombshells coming into the villa on the next episode. And who are they, you may ask? Johnny and Justine. Two OGs, okay? In the early seasons of Love Island USA, and both were on the first season of Love Island Games. I was not expecting to see them come back, but honestly, I'm fucking here for it. Johnny is definitely going to be bringing the drama. Justine is going to be bringing the looks, honey. Oh, and the athleticism. Don't let me sleep on my girl. For me, I have no notes, no complaints. I J rate this episode a 10 out of 10, honey. But what do y'all think? Were you shocked by Lucinda's performance? Do you think Josh deserved the win? Let me know in the comments. And if you're vibing with my reviews, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, keep your snacks ready and your cups full. Cheers.